Hey everyone. I recently got the privilege of playing an event account for the most recent in-game bounty event as a Maskarado. I was number 292, and I'm pretty sure the Maskarado is in reference to Mardi Gras, which was happening around the same time as the event. In the past, there were events of similar, which the players playing would have been referenced as turkeys, pirates, and if you're around long enough, corgis, as these events were first started by Nico Power as the Corgi fleet. Playing on these accounts is actually pretty relaxing and fun, as there are a number of things you don't need to worry about, such as stats, which obviously a number of people focus or check. And also, you don't need to worry about surviving necessarily in your ship. Here I'm pushing forward to get myself detected, see if anyone will take a shot at me, as the idea I had behind playing as a Maskarado was to try to win the game so my team doesn't dislike me, but also to try and get sunk by the end of the game so someone gets some loot. There are also some other benefits to playing as a Maskarado, as you can play ships that are no longer acquirable through normal means, such as Gremiashi, Kamikaze, Kutuzov, Belfast, and so on. And you can be experimental with your builds, like say do a secondary build on your US battleships, which aren't a Massachusetts. And you'll see in the chat that there was a Maskarado on the enemy team, and I pushed up to see if there was anyone to shoot at me, and turns out the enemy Maskarado is right there with one of their ship. One thing about playing as a mask was you didn't shoot at each other unless it was to win the game. The point, of course, being that you want players on their normal accounts to sink you so they got loot, as other Maskarados don't do anything with the loot from killing you. So the only reason to attack another Maskarado was to basically win the game. With basically just that one Maskarado on the enemy team in shooting range, I'm moving to another area to find other players to interact with. Here I'm pushing forward again to see if I can't take some damage, as normally when you're playing as a Chappie, you would be a little further north, more closer to the New Mexico, to kite and spam HE. You wouldn't be pushing and getting yourself exposed and broadside to a King George like I am here. So while I'm full health, I want to take some damage so I can get myself easily sunk by the end of the game. Now the enemy Maskarado just got sunk, and here I'm loading AP. And while I expected to do a lot of damage, I didn't quite expect that, as it's not common for a cruiser to one salvo dev strike another. I can only remember it happening once or twice before, maybe. And the time I clearly remember it was using a Buddy Oni to one salvo dev strike a Marblehead. And now that I've taken quite a bit of damage from the King George, and he's had chances to shoot at me, I'm going elsewhere to give other players a chance, if they want to take it at least. So I'm pushing into 3 ships, Nelson, New Mexico, and Mogami. However, I don't really think they're paying attention. And IFHE boosted Russian shells equals a lot of damage. Especially ships with soft outer shells like the Nelson and the New Mexico.
Вражеский линкор уничтожен. Линкор противника уничтожен.
Наша команда близка к победе.
Now at this point, you might think the game is pretty easily won, but you never know, and neither of the team's points are approaching 1,000. And sometimes it's really not that hard to make a comeback. So that's why I'm not trying to get sunk just yet, with the Lexington dropping on me in the New Mexico. And for some reason, the Mogami just wants to shoot the battleship instead of me. With our clear advantage in ships and points, I am pushing forward again, try and take some more damage. now that I've lost most of my health, it should be pretty easy to sink. And the slow turn of my ship, I end up getting into some cover. And well,
Крейсер противника
Helena was
уничтожен.
showing broadside, so what do you expect? Now I'm going to turn and push again.
Наша команда близка к победе.
Now you can see my shots aren't really hitting the Mogami, as I'm not really trying to damage it here. I'm just trying to get his attention. But the Mogami seems to insist on shooting the New Mexico. Now my only regret here was I activated my defensive fire when I thought about disabling my anti-air. It was already too late. I had shot down all the planes. That would have actually been a perfect time to take some more damage, possibly sink, as a win is pretty much guaranteed now. And the Mogami continues to focus the New Mexico.
Расчеты ПВО дежурят в обычном режиме.
Trying to get its attention once more. Since it continues to shoot at the New Mexico, I turn my attention elsewhere to Lexington. Maybe if the New Mexico dies, Mogami will shoot at me.
Авианосец противника уничтожен.
Наша команда близка к победе.
And since the Mogami persists in not shooting me, I figure at this point, let's move on.
Вражеский крейсер потоплен.
Now, the last ship, the game ends shortly after this. And if you want to participate, I encourage you to visit the game's main website, worldofwarships.com, and at the top you can click on the link to go to the forums, or you can go directly to the forums at forum.worldofwarships.com. Information for these events is typically posted at the top by one of the employees. Now, of course, I didn't get sunk, and the intention was to do so, but I definitely gave myself plenty of opportunities to get sunk. With the radio almost sunk dead, hope you enjoyed the game. Thank you for watching, and see you again next time.